Hello and welcome to another set of turns of Dominions 5. I am the False God. We are playing as Baratos in our Disciples game. Jumping in on turn 15. I think we managed to, we negotiated that trade and nap with Zarmatia and Zabalba. Go ahead and take out some more stuff. Dominion change. Alt rituals are cheaper. We've got religious misconceptions, spreading, which is always fun. I think, let me double check. Does that Hyena Clan guy have Hyena Clan? Yeah, he's a heretic, so he's actually the one who's busy spreading that. So that's fun. Gotta love that. We can see that the cavemen took out this super high value province from Femoria. Hilarious. Very much interested in that. And we're gonna go ahead and put up a palisade here in our wasteland because we've got that secured. And we'll hope to hold on to that. Academy of War. And we can see there's actually even more provinces down here we could try and pick up access to. Although again, so technically this is a river, which is funny from a Dominion's point of view, even though it clearly is not. Femoria does also appear to be in water here, so they're kind of in a lot of water. These are Amber clans. We're going to need a ton of these Ichthyids, but eventually we will break through. Finish up our expansion over here. This is still here, and I still want it, and I think I was constantly like, let me go and take it, and Cookie's just like, no. Don't do that. There's no reason for you to get us involved in a war already over that province. Not necessary. But we're building up a good stack of Colossi to help try and defend us, and we're kind of content here. We're pretty large, so we've got one more province to go basically for our expansion, and we're gonna end up at 3, 7, 10, 14, 15, 20. So 20 right now. We're gonna end up at 21, plus some thrones we have encircled, plus some water we have encircled. So enough territory certainly to scale a bit and not have to be worried about going into an immediate war. So pretty content there. So we'll go ahead and keep on doing that. You can see we have a lot of income in the treasury. We are going to have a lot of costs coming up. I think I was slow, and so we don't have anybody who's going to go here. Hopefully I fixed this and just didn't save it. We do have a lab and a temple cost coming up in Kopos, and a lab cost and a temple cost in the Bone Land. So we are holding on to gold a little bit, but we have, I think, good reason to do so. We are having a lot of infrastructure costs will be coming up. We'd also like to fort this province for the Earth 1, Death 1, and then there's a small chance of a Death 2. That Death 2 gets us to Death 3. Again, if Dismater doesn't show up. The other thing that this does is these nightmares, you look at the Nightmare Rider and there's nothing impressive here, right? It's 70 gold, it's 11 hit points, only 13 protection. It's got good defense, low, not very good attack, like okay attack, but very low damage, not a good unit. And then you're like, oh wait, the horse has fear. So that's amazing. Fear is kind of broken, and so being able to recruit a fear unit is going to be hugely important. We don't need it to kill anything. It just has to make contact with the enemy and sit there for a bit, and you'll rout them right off the field. Fear is very strong right now. So we're also going to want a fort going up here. So our plan is to build a lot of infrastructure. So that's why we're holding on to money, and why we didn't just send it all to Cookies, so that he could, waste it on troops, something like that. you know, who needs troops? We need forts to produce mages. Otherwise, kind of a quiet turn. We'll go to 16. On turn 16, he loses half his marrows, but does take out the Kalulu. And the Draken continues its rampage. We get some unrest. I did not get anybody here correctly. Just was not paying enough attention, so we're going to be slow. And that is a totally unforced error on not having our Laban Temple up here fast enough. So, pretty unfortunate. We are building a temple over here. And then I think we'll probably... Yeah, we recruited a commander. He's going to move in to start the fort. I could have had her start the fort and we'd be one turn ahead, but I wanted her to be able to keep site searching. So we're one turn behind on the fort to instead get more site searching potential. We also need to get somebody down here, and it's probably going to be her to work on this fort as well. And get that temple and lab up, because she's got to go like lab, temple, move down here, lab, temple. But one of these guys, like this guy, somebody here should have made this trek already. So unforced error there. We've got another commander moving. Not sure where he's going. He might just be going to be an extra commander on the cap. Unclear. Not sure what I was doing with him. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and keep on trying to keep on scaling. Again, we don't see any wars going on besides the Colossi, Abyssia against Lanka and Vanheim. And Colossi, it does look like they've made a bit of a comeback, although obviously they're still quite small. Same with Abyssia, but same with Vanheim. So this might be a war. Lanka's doing quite well. It might be a war that's just super damaging. I'm on army size. Don't mind me. Wow, that was silly. Yeah, Kailas is crushed. I don't remember them coming back. Yeah, Kailas, I think, has lost their capital at this point. Or their capital is under siege. So they're pretty sad. Pretty sad. Fimoria is huge in provinces. They're tied for the most forts, although we're probably going to catch up a little bit. They're huge in income. Yeah, they're pretty scary. And they're not fighting anyone. And I want them to go and fight someone. Someone else. Someone that isn't us. Gonna make... Yeah, make the temple. Alright, we're gonna go to 17. Not that one. Different game. Alright, we get attacked. We get attacked by Fimoria. We get attacked from the south, as well as the north. And we can see their blessing, regeneration, and 5 natural protection and spirit sight. They had a dormant bless. So they're kind of waited for it to wake up, and now these guys are pretty strong. 18 protection, 64 health with regen. Their attack still isn't great, but it's not horrendous. Only 12. Yeah, this is pretty terrifying. They're gonna go ahead and obviously kill. Oh, never mind. This is they run into a stack of the Lion Warriors. I think we may have anticipated that this was going to happen. And they're gonna get wrecked by these Lion Warriors. We did not, however, successfully parry them here. We get attacked. You know, they essentially attacked all of our border at once. And so Cookies did go ahead and knock them out where he could. And he killed the king and 10 giants, which is pretty great. Here we just had PD. Here we had some random miscellaneous lion tribe and PD. This is unfortunately was our lizard province, so it's a shame that's gone. I will point out that this army that Hinam has sent, one, their formation looks terrible. And their formation looks terrible because they have a single leader here that can lead troops. Just this guy. But it still doesn't have to be this bad. They also have, he's up front all by himself. Doesn't really seem like it's deliberate. But this is a questionable formation in my mind. I'm not sure precisely what they were going for, but I don't, it doesn't quite feel right to me. They also, this guy is not the prophet or anything, because it can't be, because it's disciples. So for all these Rephites, he's got one guy. To bless with. So a lot of his troops are going to end up not being blessed because they're not in a box to help with the blessing. Although it doesn't, you know, and so, yeah. I don't know about that formation. And then here they have a slightly better formation, but it's a similar thing. They've got one real commander, one guy for blessing, and then one N2, who I don't remember what the N2 is here to do. Neither does the N2. He's not casting any spells. I guess he's just here to heal afflictions. We also get attacked here. Heals our PD. So, and they took this back so we can expect an attack on Kopos. So this was bad. At the same time as we get attacked by Femoria, we also had war declared on us by Niflheim. And we essentially have to buy them out. Cookies was able to buy them out of the war, and I believe they get to take all of this from me. And they're gonna take this, I think, from Cookies. So, and this too, I think. So we had to pay, I think we paid like 7 provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I feel like my mind tells me we paid 7, but I'm not sure what the 7th one is off the top of my head. So we had to buy them out of the war because the giants were trying to coalition us. And I mean, when you're fighting 2 wars, you need to either go and smash someone, or fighting 2 players. You need to smash someone and get them out of the coalition, or you need to bribe them out of the coalition. And so the Femoria player, when he eventually finds out that we bribed them out of the war by paying 7 provinces or whatever, was very upset. he was very upset with us. But we tried to buy them out too, and they were not interested. We tried to buy them out first, in fact, because I would rather fight. I think we thought we had better odds fighting Niflheim and Muspelheim than this horrible border against Femoria, which is impossible to make progress through. And they've got this water, which is again incredibly difficult for us to fight into them. We can see Hinnom stuff here, so Hinnom's right here. We can fight Hinnom, but this when you take a Giant's Bless on Hinnom, right, for these Rephites, they're going to deal a ton of damage to your population and to your long-term game if you don't manage them very well. And so we, you know, I would have rather let them run around with their giants and sort of, you know, eat their own people and not accomplish much rather than fight us and we go fight Niflheim, but didn't go that way. We get to fight into this group. I am trying to desperately research Alt-4, which you can see we've just about gotten done. I'm not quite ready to counter raid yet. We're going to put together forces in the capital, and then we're going to look to march out in coming turns. Luckily, Kopos finished, so it's not going to get destroyed again, although I'm not going to try and put up a fort or anything. We are searching. We're building our palisade on this side where it should be safe. We're going to, I guess, search, and then we're going to put up a lab and move down here. So we're at war. I believe this stack is going to move here, and there's going to be a decent amount of PD next turn. And so he's going to try and hold versus what we've got. So we're going to end up contracting a little bit, and then we're going to try and push back out as we get the chance. Giants, for the Draken, are also a bit dangerous, right? They have enough damage. They can potentially break through Mistform. So we have to be careful. We can't just magic phase onto these guys in general. Though they certainly have some stacks which can be vulnerable. Like this one, I mean, the barbs are dangerous, but this stack we could potentially jump on if we had the research for Cloud Trapeze, but we don't. So we're gonna try and finish all 4 here. But we're gonna be, let's see, we can jump. We can go to 18. Let's see if we get some more stuff happening. It was a nice win for Machaka. Killing off some of those sacreds. Good job thinking about what's going to happen. We found a Sunridge. So that's a nice 2 fire gem site. We're going to get attacked in our fort. We are not defending, so we're just going to let the PD go. There's Nemedians, there are the Sacreds, there's Archers, there's a lot of Mercs, so we didn't try and fight that one. We found, this was hilarious. We found an iron mine in Baratos when I already have more than enough resources that I'm not really using, although I guess I could be making more little troops. But poor Machaka desperately needs those resources. I also have a ton of money, but again, I didn't want to just, we've got, lab, temple, still need a lab. I didn't want to just start like recruiting garbage like troops. Like I could just start, recruiting a heavy cav and a half here. Light infantry, tribe. You get the hoplites or whatever. I didn't research anything. I don't know. I kind of wonder if I didn't save this turn properly. I'm surprised that I made nothing here. It doesn't quite seem right. I think I would have spent some of that money, and I should have got one more Colossi warrior. But we are gonna move out. So if he proceeds forwards, we're gonna plan to fight him with. Let's see who's actually probably easiest to look at it this way. We're moving out some 70 Sacreds and 50 of our Hoplites, or our Heavy Spearmen, plus some extra Heavy Spearmen. And we're going to hope that the heavy guys are going to hold the line a little bit in the front, and then the Colossi are going to work their way in from the flanks. We've also got the God doing his buff script. I don't have him doing poison because he's just as liable to poison all of our own troops. And then, the brides are all just doing Mistform. So having your slow to recruit cap only mage running out to do Mistform doesn't feel like tremendous, but you kind of got to do what you got to do. So look and see if we can get a fight in here. We're recruiting up our nightmares, and we'll hope for that. You can see we consolidated, Machaka consolidated in Swandi, and it looks like Hinam maybe have consolidated here in this Dendra Negro Forest, and be looking to, he could go here or here potentially. If he goes here, he's at risk of being cut off. I think Cookies is going to end up attacking him. I don't think I mentioned when we found this that Cookies found the cedar pillars. So enchantment bonus 30 is pretty great. Pretty great. If we can hold it. It also means we definitely don't want to lose this province. You can see he did PD up the crap out of it up to 45. We don't want to lose this province because if Hinnom and Fomorian know we have the enchantment site, if we do end up winning this war, they're probably going to broadcast it to everybody. So, little dangerous there. Chaka has the swimming men. I don't remember why we needed the swimming one, but he has them, I guess. So, all right, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and let's move to the next turn. Let's go to let's go to 19, and that'll be our last turn for today. See if we can get one big fight in here before we call it. So we have Fomoria, attacks into nothing, unfortunate. Fomoria attacks into Kopos, with again, I don't know that I fully understand the scripting choice, but they have what they have, and we just have PD. And so that's not really going to go in our favor either. We killed some miscellaneous ichthids. We're under siege. We're under siege. So of our forts, right, we're under siege in 2 of them. This is where they pushed forwards. So I'm going to try and kick them out of this fort. We'll hope that they go back and we fight them. Oh yeah, the fort was coming up too, which is part of why he stayed in Swandi. And we'll hope we can fight them, kill this army, then maybe we do a little bit of dispersing to raid, and then reconstitute and go and take out this force. It may also be, right, we go here and just look to march our way up to relieve Kopos. Either one is potentially fine. We're going to try and get Evocation 2 just to add a little bit of Sulfur Haze, primarily, and Lightning Bolt to our arsenal. And then I have us headed up to Blood 3. That is going to give us Agony along the way, which could be good. It may be that it's hard to kill those giants, but we might be able to rout them with stuff like Agony. It gives us a Hell Power option. Obviously, that's pretty dangerous and not something we want to do, but some of our brides can do it. And it does give us a bit of a supercaster for that particular fight. Obviously, she's going to die eventually if you do that, so it's not great, but sometimes you kind of have to do what you have to do. And then it'll also obviously get us up to Scapegoats, so we can start getting our Serum. We're pretty strong. Pain Transfer will also allow us to turn slaves into Communion Power, or Sabbath Power. So for anyone who's not familiar, Pain Transfer wasn't a spell that was used very much in Dom 5, but it makes wounds taken by the mage are transferred to nearby blood slaves. And so damage absorbed will be half the damage that was inflicted. And what this does, in actual terms, for us, is that if you do essentially like a Turbo Communion, Turbo Sabbath, where you've way overloaded the number of masters to the number of slaves, you will obviously kill your slaves. This will transfer the damage that your slaves take or would take from having over high fatigue onto the blood slaves themselves. And so basically a blood slave is 9 HP. Each spell cast deals 1 damage to that blood slave. So with 2 priests and 30 slaves or 20 slaves, you can give everybody a nice little magic buff to help turbocharge those evocations or get them online, and not have to put nearly as many mages into the communion, and you won't necessarily burn them out. Now, if the fight goes on long enough, you will, but by then, right, if the fight was that big, you maybe don't mind losing those 2 mages as much because you've gotten so much out of your casting. But I think there were some other options, though, that could have been more well considered. From a research perspective, I like the evocation a lot. The blood magic is okay. We could have tried to go up enchantment to get access to Cloud Trapeze. Is a big potential shift, potential war winner that we could have tried to make use of. We also could have gotten more arrows and done like ignite arrow crap with more enchantment, but that was kind of up their ways. Terracotta troops also turn gems into stuff, which isn't too bad. Excuse me. Another good one in Conjuration, we could have gone for Call the Winds, which is actually kind of good at raiding nowadays. We're going to use this one later, but could have potentially gone for it sooner. That would also give us the powers to, again, help buff up those mages for their evocations and whatnot. But we're looking for a big fight. You know, this Hinnom stack, right, just crushes this population every turn. So we kind of want to get them out of our land and into the ground. This group is mostly made up of mercs. And so I think he's going to want to try, he rebid these, though there's only 7 of them. I think he's going to want to try and use them without rebidding them. I think that's what I would do. And so he probably wants to take this fight. But he could also like march in towards Machaca and just say this force is mercenaries and it's going to die eventually. Although there are, you know, there's an unmarked and there are some Fomorian giants and some Nemedian warriors. So I don't know that you entirely want to give up on it. So I think he's going to move back and we can try and catch him. We are moving a priest over here for reasons. I think he's going to make his way over here to build a lab because we decided to move to get this lab up down here. So a lot of inefficiencies in my infrastructure management, unfortunately, this game. But we'll see if it ends up catching up to us. So, all right. Hopefully we're going to get a big fight next turn, but that'll have to wait for a future episode. So thanks everybody for joining me. Hope to see you all in the next one. Have a great day.